Good evening. I'm Major Max Guerin, M-A-X-G-E-R-O-N, with the Dallas Police Department's Crimes Against Persons Division. This morning, March 6th, at about 11:50 a.m., Dallas police officers responded to a call about human remains being found under the bridge in the 2900 block of Dowdy Ferry Rd, which happens to be an unincorporated portion of Dallas County. The Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office was notified and has since taken custody of those remains. The remains were found in the same general area where searches for Marisol Espinoza had been conducted. However, we are unable to confirm at this time whether or not those remains belong to Ms. Espinoza. This incident will be reported as an unexplained death until the medical examiner makes a positive identification and determines the cause of death. And we will release additional information as it becomes available and appropriate to do so. I'll take some questions.
I mean, given the fact it was a decomposed body, was there any visible signs of trauma to this body?
Nothing that we could attribute to any one particular cause. As you may be aware, Dowdy Ferry Road in that area is unincorporated. It's overgrown, and there is various animal activity. So there were indications of that on the body, but specific trauma, unable to determine anything.
And does the department have any existing missing persons cases that would be able to eliminate Marisol as a potential person here, or?
It's when you start talking about elimination, that would not be an avenue of how we would go about eliminating it. Even if the scenario existed as you're proposing, it would never be something that we would rely on. It would have to be the medical examiner making that determination before we would say anything like that.
How were the remains discovered?
It's my understanding that there's a group. I don't know if, I don't know if animal rights activists is the right term for the group, or citizens that are concerned about animal care and whatnot, that have been going to that area and have been doing so for some time. I think I remember reading articles about this group, and because of the way the river runs, animal bodies get caught down there. So this group was down there looking for animals and trash and whatnot, happened upon the remains.
Was there anything indicating, any clothing, anything found with the remains?
There were bits of clothing on the remains, but again, nothing that would enable us to say or give any kind of indication to whom these remains belong. We understood that there would obviously be questions, so we wanted to come and address that and to explain where we are at this point in the investigation.
You said there was evidence that animals had disturbed this body?
That's correct.
You mentioned Marisol, but is there a description that you can give us? I mean, is she a person of color? Is she white? Because you mentioned her name. I mean, there could be other missing people.
Right. This was a very highly publicized case here in Dallas. She's a Hispanic female that's been missing since December.
Is that area under that bridge still considered a crime scene now, or will investigators be back out there looking for anything in particular? Or?
The investigators were out there today from the time it was found until late this evening. Whether or not they go back will certainly depend on where the investigation goes from there. But they did, our physical evidence section did process the crime scene. And to call it a crime scene is a bit premature. Again, we have to wait for identification because it's very possible that the medical examiner could determine it's someone else and that the cause of death was something other than a homicide. So any of that would be premature.
Kind of a logistics question. I mean, since this body was found outside of Dallas jurisdiction, why did you guys send so many people there today?
Well, for obvious reasons. We were aware that a number of searches in that area had been conducted. We went down because we know that falls under the jurisdiction of the Dallas Sheriff's Office. And it's very close to Hutchins. I think Hutchins made the determination that it was not in their city. So we went down there for the obvious reasons of if that is her, we wanted to have detectives there to make any observations that might prove relevant to the case. So I'll take one more question.
Can you say if the body was fully clothed or partially clothed?
No, I can't say that at this point.
Was the body female? Are you confirming that?
No, no. Thank you, guys.
No, you're not confirming that.
That's correct. I'm not.
Okay, you're not. That's good to know.